How's it, cuz? It's time to Walaau with me, Mr. Walaau, Dickie Chang. Join us as we meet your uncles, your aunties, your brothers, your sisters, uncles, cousins, neighbors, grandmother, all the Ohana. We'll take you to breathtaking places you've never been. Meet famous people you've never seen. Kick back and cruise, you know the ruse.
The day has to end. I'm so happy we made new friends. We'll meet tomorrow, same time, same place. Looking forward to see your smiling face. Walaau, the day has to end. I'm so happy we made new friends. We'll meet tomorrow, same time, same place. Looking forward to see your smiling face. Walaau, 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 Walaau.
Aloha, Kauai, mahalo nui loa, and thank you for joining us this week in yet another exciting and informative episode of Walaau. I'm Dickie Chang. Today we'll be speaking with Tracy Anderson, and we're going to update you on our Save Our Shearwaters program and the statistical findings of last year's Save Our Shearwaters season. But first, let's head on over to the Grand Ballroom of our KAUAI Marriott Resort and Beach Club. That was the site of the first quarter event for our KAUAI Chamber of Commerce. The event was partially sponsored by, of course, the Chamber of Commerce and the KAUAI Marriott Resort and Beach Club and the KAUAI Lifeguard Association. Here to recap us with the evening's event is our very dear friend, the events coordinator, of course, for the KAUAI Lifeguard Association and Sales and Marketing Committee is none other than the lovely Chantal Zarbaugh.
Yes, Dickie, it was a wonderful event. There was over 400 people in attendance, all there to support our ocean-minded community campaigns. We had Paul Toner of the KAUAI Marriott Resort and Beach Club. He was our moderator. And then we also had a great panelist lineup. We had Dr. Monty Downs. He is the president of KAUAI Lifeguard Association. We also had Sue Kanoho from the KAUAI Visitors Bureau, and then Kalani Vieira of the Ocean Safety Bureau. And then we also had Aro Kaneshiro, Council Chairman of the County Council, and then we had our special guest, Mike COOTS, shark survivor.
So this event was co-sponsored by the Lifeguard Association and the KAUAI Marriott Resort and Beach Club. Of course, that's where we held the event.
Yes.
But it was in conjunction with the Chamber of Commerce, and you mentioned that we had over 400 people there. With all the Chamber events coming back to the first quarter meeting, that was pretty huge because that was the biggest attendance, in my opinion, and I heard for any kind of a first quarter event for the Chamber.
That was a wonderful co-sponsored event, again, with the KAUAI Marriott and KAUAI Lifeguard Association. And yes, we actually made history. That was the first time a first quarter had that much people in attendance. So that was great to see the community support us and support what we're trying to do.
You know, it was a very interesting concept because when they said it was going to be a casual meeting, I was a little bit surprised because that casual meeting was that they had their couches or their lawn chairs, so to speak. You mentioned General Manager Paul Toner that acted as the moderator. That was a kind of like a really nice, informal way to communicate what is very important and very serious thing on this island of Kauai.
You know, ocean safety, saving lives, that's our mission. So all the monies that we raise through our fundraisers, that's what it goes towards. It comes back to Kauai, it goes to our community, organizations that help our first responders, our lifeguards. We do junior lifeguard programs. So this was a more intimate setting for our guests so that, yes, we did have couches. We wanted them to feel comfortable. We wanted our attendees to hear our message and not make it so like, this is what you got to do. We wanted them to embrace our beliefs and why we do what we're doing for KAUAI Lifeguard Association.
You know, and it was not being stiff.
No.
And sometimes when you're trying to convey something, it doesn't have to be negative because sadly lives are taken. And what we always try to say to people, and the visitor industry out there has been so responsive, I think the message has been, if in doubt or when in doubt, don't go out. And I also do think that the message within the general populace, whether in the visitor industry, business industry, or local person in the, just happen to be a bystander at the beach, everybody would recommend highly that swim at a lifeguarded beach. But yet, sad and true, many people don't get in trouble in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50-foot surf. Most of them are professionals on a surfboard with a leash or accompanied by a jet ski. And it's sad for all of us that yet, as much as we try, there are those that get in trouble in relatively flat water just a few couple yards offshore.
Yeah, Dickie, our waters are so unpredictable. People come here to Paradise thinking that, it looks so calm, it looks perfect, but they're unaware of all the riptides, undercurrent, things like that. And so that's what happens when you're not at a lifeguarded beaches. People don't see you, if you're in trouble. And a lot of times people get shot, or, they get shocked underwater. So it's very important to swim at lifeguarded beaches for sure. And, in addition to our lifeguarded beaches, we do have our roving units to try to compensate for the amount of beachgoers that have doubled over the years. And, with the beaches closed on the North Shore, more people are coming to Anini, which is now wal19, and other beaches. So we need to have our lifeguards present.
I know your family was raised within the greater North Shore area, especially right down the road at wal19 Beach.
Yes.
But, the viewing audience might remember that we were recently up there a couple of months ago when the county did give the okay, if I'm not mistaken, for 2.5 full-time lifeguard positions in addition to donating jet skis out there. But you folks are from out there, so you know the names of the various sectors of wal19. Every place has their own nickname for Hawaiian tutu or Hawaiian kane or a fisherman or what have you. But the one thing that I didn't realize is that there are actually 3 channels out there. So the water is like, when we was out there, it was Malia. It was very, very
nice,
calm. It was
calm.
unbelievable. But I guess when the waves come in, the backwash sucks through that channel.
Yep.
And it might seem obviously for us, but it's very unsuspecting for anybody, whether you're a local visitor or whoever the heck you are, because that can be suction action like nobody else's business. Like right, the
It pulls you
rail
out.
train out
Yep.
there like fast.
It's so strong, and it's like a funnel. So yes, it does suck you out, and that's another reason why it's important for people to make sure that if don't think that just because it looks calm, it isn't.
And a great point that you made, with the closure of the road, and many people are going to Hanalei, but past Hanalei, like into Haena Beach Park or KA Beach Park, basically you can't go out there. And I know the local residents are like stoked, like this is old Hawaii, but the bottom line is because those beaches lack, then obviously they have to go as furthest north, like maybe Pine Trees, Hanalei, and of course the popularity of wal19.
wal19, yes. So, all our beaches are very popular. The whole island is popular. And we invite people to come to Kauai, and we invite them to enjoy our beaches. However, there are signs for reasons. There are dangerous areas like wal19. There's so much beautiful places that are lifeguarded beaches and, is safe. So we encourage everyone to go there, come to Paradise, enjoy, but still be mindful, be respectful of the Aina.
And that night there, a magical evening there at the KAUAI Marriott Resort and Beach Club, there were a lot of attendees there. There were a lot of business people there. But there's always room for information as to what the monies raised go to. We have several events that we're going to talk about soon. But in the nutshell, with all these efforts, what are some of the key things that are bought with the monies that this community raises?
Well, first and foremost, we want to make sure our lifeguards are equipped properly. So most recently was our roving units, which consisted of a truck, as well as a trailer and a jet ski. And this year, because of the funds that we raised through our fundraising events, it was able to get 2 trucks. So that accommodated, more lifeguards and more area to cover.
And Chantal, for those in the viewing audience that may or may not know or they have supported the Lifeguard Association in the past, can you tell us what are some of the key the purchases that we buy to benefit the community for the safety of our community as far as water safety is concerned?
Absolutely. So we have donated to the OSB, Ocean Safety Bureau, trucks, jet skis, rescue tubes. We also have an ocean safety trailer that we use for community events where we bring it out into the community and we educate the community about our waters and where to go swimming. We also have we have a junior lifeguard program which is been able to let more kids from the ages of 8 to 18 participate because we have the funds from the community. So that is something that it'll last them a lifetime, and they learn lifelong skills, ocean safety, and how to be a team player. And then we also have, it goes to equipment such as radios, whatever the lifeguards may need that is not purchased by the county. So we supplement that.
Which is a huge, huge gift to the county because as many people know,
Taxpayers.
and the taxpayers, because the current county budget is actually in session at this particular point, and everybody's scraping for money, and
Yes.
money's not just ordinarily handed out. But I do want to say, when you mentioned the trucks or you mentioned the jet skis, I do want to add that the trucks are brand new trucks and
Brand
the
new.
jet skis are brand new.
Yes.
But in this age of every second counts, to have something working in top shape and not having to be out of service and repaired, that's what makes it that much more effective as far as immediate, quick, fast response is concerned, especially when every second counts.
Absolutely, and that's why it's so important for us to, help them, because we maintain their trucks, we get them new trucks, we get them new jet skis, and there's also brochures. So there's an education element to it. So we go into the hotels, we educate the concierge. We have a wave program that we do. We also are for career days. We go into the classrooms and we teach the keiki. So there's more things that your money goes to than just equipment and just trucks, because I think it's a full circle. You can't just have one without the other. So we need to be able to provide these different elements so that the community can benefit from it, and all the monies that we raise stays on Kauai. And in addition to that, we also give to nonprofits such as Life's Bridges. So Gina does a great job, and not only does she help the families, but she also helps our first responders whenever there's a situation. So I think that's important for us to not only give back to the community in making sure our lifeguards are safe and have effective equipment, lessen the burden on the taxpayers, but also give back to organizations that take care of our first responders.
And of course, when you mention Life Bridges, we do have to say aloha to our friend Gina Kaulukukui out there. Almost a one-man show. She does have her help, but it's a very difficult task that she has. But she's always there for, unfortunately, the family and all that they do. So thank you very much, Gina Kaulukukui. But I do also want to just make mention, your board, with the guidance of Dr. Monty Downs and the board members, quietly were working with Fred Atkins of the Hawaii Tourism Authority, and nobody said anything. Nobody wanted to launch anything because it wasn't a guarantee. But what was said is, if you raise an X amount of money, the Hawaii Tourism Authority will come back, because it's a proven entity year after year after year after year after year, in the tune that I believe that the Hawaii Tourism Authority came in with matching funds of about $125,000. Can you clarify or correct me if I'm wrong?
Yes, they came in with $125,000 matching. So what we had to do with our fifth wave was reach a certain benchmark, and then they would come back and they would also match that up to $125,000. And Kauai was the first one, and I believe the only one that applied for that. So Kauai is on the forefront of a lot of different things. We are working with so many different people within the community. The rescue tube, the roving units, the rescue tubes, those are all new. So other islands are following in our footsteps and creating their own for their islands. So that's something that's great, is you guys are also part of making this bigger than just Kauai. Other islands are picking it up.
When you hear from acting Deputy Chief Kilipaki Vaughn, you hear from Kalani Vieira, that their peers from Hawaii Island or the county of Maui or even Oahu, that's asking, how do you guys do this, or how you do this? I think this community should be proud, because there is no other entity that is out there specifically fundraising for ocean safety, which is incredibly great for this island.
Yes, very incredible. So please, Kauai, know that you guys are part of all of this. This is what we do for our lifeguards, but it's also for Kauai. And Kauai is on the forefront on a lot of different moving parts for ocean safety. And we just want to thank you, and thank you for your support.
And for those that missed out, Chantal Zarbaugh, right around the corner, you got a great summer kickoff. Can you explain to the viewers how they can get involved, where the event's going to be happening, and what really is the event?
So this year, we're going to be doing a beach bash fundraising event. And what that entails is more of a outdoors experience for our attendees. So table sponsorships are available right now. Right now, we have about 30. So thank you for all our quick response for our table sponsors. We are going to be at the Kauai Marriott and Resort Beach Club on the Luau grounds. We're Kalapaki Bay. So it'll be under a tent. It'll be very comfortable. It'll be a nice day. And it's going to be on June 1st. It's a Saturday, 3 to 6 p.m. And what we're having that day is you can't beat Chef Higa's award-winning barbecue feast. So we're gonna have that. We're also gonna be having new this year. We're gonna show the community and the attendees what the lifeguards do, just a little bit of what they do. So we have a helicopter simulation where they drop the lifeguard and then they pull up with the jet ski. So that's gonna be going on. And then we're also going to have a challenge, a nice lighthearted challenge between the lifeguards, different districts. So we have about 4 teams that consist of 4 different lifeguards because, it is during their working hours. And they're going to show us a little bit of what they go through as far as training and just giving the attendees a little show of what they do to keep in shape, and what they also do for the junior lifeguards and what they train with the junior lifeguards. So this is going to be something that's done the first time done, and I think it's going to be really great. So I encourage everyone to participate, whether it be through table sponsorships or just being part of, or donations, everyone's welcome. And this year we're trying to raise funds because we have a lot of different goals this year. We have huge goals as far as storage units. We also want to put up other towers. Waiau High was the latest and greatest, and that on Mother's Day saved 3 people. So, it's very important for us to go ahead and put up towers where it's needed.
It just seems like yesterday when you mentioned Mother's Day, 3 lives were saved. Mm-hmm. The incredible part about it is I don't know exactly the terms, so I'm going to say on the Brenakee side, there's a visible lifeguard stand. We moved the stand out by the Poipu Point, Nukamoy, or what have you, yes, in front of the Tombolo. But we always tell people, look, swim at a lifeguard beach, but remember, if you cannot see the tower, the lifeguards can't see you. But where it was actually positioned out in front of that Tombolo or that point, that made looking back toward the Waiau High that you say, yes, visible, that consequently on Mother's Day, if I'm not mistaken, 3 lives were saved there, and hip hip hooray for the Waiau High, because they went, whoa, my goodness, that's money well spent, because 1 life lost is way too many, and 3 lives in 1 day on Mother's Day.
Right. We don't want that to happen. And I want to correct myself. It's actually the Nukamoy Tower. Yeah, not the Waiau High, but it's in front of the Waiau High area.
And that's why I was kind of like, I didn't know if we were proper, but thank you for
Yes,
correcting me also.
Yeah.
But last but not least, before we take a short break, thank you so much for what you do personally. But you had made mention about shark survival, Michael COOTS. What an incredible story, but more importantly, what a great Kauaian, a great human being,
Yes,
a great person, period. I'm glad I was able to meet him.
He's an amazing person, and his story is just so inspirational because, he lost his foot to a shark attack by a tiger shark, but he is the biggest activist for for killing of sharks, and he wants to make sure that they're protected because, just because he got hurt, he's using what happened to him to switch it around and feel blessed, and he's doing such amazing things.
Well, Chantal Zarbaugh, I'm sure we're going to be hooking up with you, and thank you for joining us on Walaau. But as we get closer to the June 1st date, Saturday from 3 to 6 at the Luau Gardens Oceanfront at the Kauai Marriott Resort and Beach Club, we'll keep in contact with you for further updates, and you can tell us what more is available. But we're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll be meeting Mike COOTS himself, shark survivor, here on our garden island of Kauai. Don't go away. Chantal and I will be right back.
Hi, I'm Jay Robertson, Chairman of the Membership and Public Relations Committee for the KAUAI Chamber of Commerce. Our committee is responsible for, 1, services that are provided to the members and encouraging them to continue their membership. Of course, as any chamber grows and gains its membership, it becomes more effective and more influential. Part of the reason you should be a member for the KAUAI Chamber is the advocacy that we do on your behalf at the state legislature as well as our county government for action that may impact your business. The other thing is you have a variety of opportunities to network and to socialize with other business members, and we offer some great opportunities to learn. There's some wonderful educating workshops that you can take part in, for everything from human resources to legal developments to what may be coming up in the future in taxes or human relations issues. So with that, you can learn an awful lot about making your business better. I think one of the primary things you should consider in joining the chamber is that you become a critical part of the fabric of the economy of the island. You actually add something to the whole structure of our economy, and you help to make that better. Of course, being a chamber member has a lot of benefits to it, and you will certainly find out about those as you join us. We have a variety of committees. We encourage you to be a part of that, but we more importantly really want you to associate with each of the members, build your associations, network, find out how you can improve your business and be much more successful at what you do. All of that is part of being a member of the KAUAI Chamber of Commerce. I'm Jay Robertson, Chairman of the Membership and Public Relations Committee for your KAUAI Chamber of Commerce.
Feel the beauty of this sign up, down from the beaches to the highest mountain. Different people living as one, in harmony under the sun on the island, in the middle of the sea. On the
Puakea Golf Course. Call for your tee times today.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Carano. I'm a sales and leasing rep with King Auto Center. We have an extensive inventory of new and used vehicles from Hondas and Rams to Ford F-150s and Toyota Tacomas. Let me help you find the vehicle that best suits your family and your needs. Call me at 245-4788 and ask for Vanessa Carano. Again, that's 245-4788 Vanessa Carano. Hope to see you soon.
Welcome back, Kauai, and thank you so very much to our very dear friend Chantal Zarbaugh with our Kauai Lifeguard Association. Now, the keynote speaker for the event was a young man born and raised on the island of Kauai. His name is Mike COOTS. Now, he has a wonderful story that you'll hear it from Mike, but it was just an honor and an opportunity to finally get to meet Mike COOTS here, KAUAI here of our island of Kauai. Again, the keynote speaker for our first quarter chamber event, the amazing Mike COOTS.
I lost my leg to a tiger shark surfing here on Kauai when I was 18. It's been almost 19 years now, born and raised here, and just love the island.
So tell us the story. West Side, I don't know, Majors Bay,
Yep.
somewhere in and around that area.
Yeah.
Now, when you were doing what you were doing, I guess bodyboarding,
Yep.
what happened? I mean, like, did you feel it? Or?
Yeah, it was a total blindsided attack. I didn't know Jaws music cueing. Tiger shark came up right underneath me like a submarine, grabbed onto me. I felt immense pressure. I didn't feel any pain. Didn't even realize my leg came off. I felt like 3 big Hawaiian guys were sitting on me. Got back on my board. I looked at my index finger. It was split open like a potato. I could see bones and blood and guts. I was like, I'm hurt. I better get in. I started paddling in, and as I'm paddling, my right leg starts doing this like spasm, this uncontrollable shake, and I thought the shark was finishing me off. Because when you're paddling, you're prone. You don't see what's behind you. And I looked over my shoulder, and it wasn't a shark. It was my leg severed off completely. A surgeon with a samurai sword could not have done a better job. Blood squirting out the middle, total horror movie style, and my heart sunk right there. And luckily a little wave came. I rode right up to the beach. I tried standing up without a leg. You can't stand up. I fell over. I kind of rolled down a little bit. My friends saw what was happening. They rushed to my aid. My friend Kyle took my bodyboarding leash, made a tourniquet, said a prayer for me on the beach. I kind of thought I was going to die, but it wasn't real scary. They put me in the bed of a pickup truck. We went to KVMH as fast as we could. I remember pulling up to the ER entrance, and the doctor ran out. He put his arm on my shoulder, and my body just gave to. I went unconscious, and I pretty much woke up the next day as an amputee at Wilcox. Spent about a week or so in the hospital, maybe a month bedridden at home, and as soon as the doctor said the stitches and staples could come out, the risk of infection was gone, I was back in the water.
So, Mike, when you say amputee when I woke up,
Yeah.
that meant that your leg was just gone.
Yeah, the shark basically made me an amputee. The shark completely bit off my leg. There was nothing hanging. It was completely cut off. And I knew nothing about being an amputee. It was a traumatic event, obviously, so I didn't have time to research what prosthetics are, what it's going to be like without a leg. Those were all questions that I had in the hospital.
Now, can you let the viewing audience know specifically, tell us about the conditions or perhaps what month or the date, time?
It was late October. We like to call it Sharktober. There's been a lot of shark attacks in late October. We paddled out early in the morning. It was at Majors Bay, and I remember we opened up the car doors. We were in this old Scout, and I smelled this stinky smell I've never smelled before, absolutely foul. It's like you walked into maybe a fish market. The electricity's been out for 2 weeks. It smelled like that. But the waves were good, so we're going out anyways. So I should have probably, in retrospect, saw that as a sign not to go out. But if you were to ask me right now if I would paddle back out that day knowing I'd lose a limb, I would say absolutely. It's brought me to so many incredible places around the world. I've been able to meet some really cool people, and it's been a really good life. I feel very fortunate.
You know, that is insanely crazy that you lose your leg the water was pilau,
Yep.
probably a little bit
Yep,
murky
yep,
action,
yep,
and you're saying that you would do it again?
I would, yeah. Stuff happens in life, all kinds of stuff, and I live in a really good time to be an amputee. There's never really been a better time than right now. We've got good technology. I can pretty much do everything I can prior to the shark attack. I can run, I can surf, can hike, ride dirt bike, anything you think I can do. And maybe ask me this 50 years ago, it'd be a different answer. But right now, we're very fortunate to live in a modern world where modern medicine can help you do what you want to do.
But it's very interesting when you said that you got attacked, and you said, "Oh, I didn't get a chance to research it.
Yep.
I mean, why would you? I mean, like, it's crazy. Like, what you're saying is that, whoa, had I known I was going to get bit, I would have researched it.
Well, yeah, I mean, or some people, they get cancer or something, and they got time to sort of get used to what life is like going to be. They can meet fellow amputees. If you're in a traumatic accident, you wake up in the hospital and you're what God gives you. You've got to deal with the hands you've been given, and you just figure out a way to make it work. You learn to really become comfortable being uncomfortable.
So for the benefit of the viewing audience, we're here with Mike Coots. Everybody knows your story, born and raised on Kauai. One of the very early shark attacks, you probably know and remember Hokuanu Aki, our very dear friend there at Breneke's, just one of these times or days or what have you. But now something as far as an evolution is concerned, you're out there actually protecting the sharks, and I don't know, maybe it's your amakua, maybe it's your Hawaiian amakua, what have you, but you're doing something to protect the sharks. Tell us a little bit about that adventure now.
Yeah, I love the ocean. That's why I was out surfing the day I got attacked, and sharks are a very important part of our oceans. I feel like I'm a bit of an ironic situation to be protecting them, and it does give me a bit of a voice and a bit of a platform. I've found that it's given me purpose in life, and if I could take something, I guess, that can be perceived as maybe negative and flip it around, and so be it. I love it, and the more I learn, the more I've been fortunate to hang out with brilliant shark scientists and go to some of the best places in the world to see sharks, Bahamas, South Africa, Australia, New Zealand. They're amazing creatures, and they definitely deserve to be in our oceans. Sharks have been around longer than dinosaurs. Dinosaurs died off, hundreds of millions of years ago. Sharks survived. They're obviously here for a reason. Sharks are older than trees. They've survived 2 mass extinctions, and I truly believe that in order to have a healthy ocean, we need to have a good shark population.
Now, are you street smart, or did you go to university, or what's your educational background?
I studied portraiture. I graduated KAUAI, class of 97. And then I went to Brooks Institute. It's a really good school in California, a good photography school. I spent 4 years there. Learned a lot about photography, and I've been a professional photographer for maybe 15 years now.
So you're doing underwater photography?
I do, yeah. I almost every day I'm in the water doing something with cameras and shooting, and this really is the best place in the world to do that.
So would you like to just let the viewing audience know, like, perhaps not just how fortunate you are, but what is your outlook in life?
I think everybody's got something. My disability or my handicap is very visual. I got a prosthetic. You look at Bethany Hamilton, she's missing an arm. We've got these things that can be perceived as, oh, poor you, oh, poor that, or unfortunate. I got people come up to me and they're crying, I'm so sorry, but everybody's got something, and it's really how you deal with it. That's just what life is. Life can hand you things. It can hand you, rotten fruit, and you make lemonade out of it. It's really kind of how you look at life, and when you start looking at life in that way, it becomes more fun, and it's kind of fun being an amputee. There's things that you think you can't do, and you figure out a way to do it. You adapt, and it's these little challenges that you can build on, and it gives you self-worth, it gives you confidence, and after a while, you're like, yeah, bring it on. I can tackle this.
So, for the benefit of the viewing audience, if you don't mind,
yeah.
I mean, where does this start? And
yeah, so the shark bit off down here. The surgeon had to amputate up a little higher because sharks have dirty teeth. Their teeth can cause infection, and there's an optimal residual limb length. But I'm a below the knee amputee. I'm fortunate to have my knee. Hoku doesn't have his knee, and it makes it a little bit more difficult if you want to go back in the water surfing because a lot of the knees are electronic, and you can't bring electronics in the water. So for surfing and water activities, I am pretty fortunate I have my knee. Shark also got my other leg, almost lost that as well, and I've got some pretty nasty scars. I stuck my hand in its mouth to try to get my legs out, and the teeth split open my index finger, and I had to get nerve surgery on it. There was many years where I couldn't feel my finger, and now the nerve's regrown. So it's my trigger finger for photography, so I'm fortunate that I can still shoot photos with it. And I'm very fortunate to not really have any flashbacks or any mental. It's really been an ideal shark attack situation, to be honest.
well, that's what I was going to ask you. So, normal bad dreams, no more trips.
I've never had one. Never had. Honest truth, I've never had one bad dream. I dream I got 2 legs. It's strange. Yeah.
Is there something as such as phantom pain?
Yeah, phantom pain definitely is real. Most amputees go through it. It's this weird sensation where it feels like you still have a foot. It lasted for me about 6 months. Everybody's different, but it feels like one day somebody's stabbing your foot, the next day your foot's on fire, somebody's putting a lighter to your toes, and it's your body going through every emotion because your nerves have a closed circuit, and once that closed circuit isn't closed anymore, it's trying to figure out what's causing, so it'll shoot all these different sort of pains through you, and it's pretty intense, and it can definitely keep you up at night. I'm very fortunate that it went away.
You know, I would probably say, for the benefit of the viewing audience and those of us that are out here, I gotta say that the shark is probably, and it has to be, a aumakua. You know what I mean?
I don't know, but I do feel very fortunate. Yeah, and like I said, it's just one of those things that, you know, shark attacks, some people, it's the biggest fear in their lives, getting attacked by a shark. And to be honest, I'm much more scared just getting on our roads, driving down the street to worry about another shark attack. And I'd probably be able to write a pretty good book if I got attacked again.
You'd probably be one of the few that...
Yeah, maybe if yeah.
And you know, you talked a little bit about Bethany Hamilton. Of course, when you got bit, you were a wee 18 years old. She was a wee 13 plus.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys kind of like chat, relate? How's it?
Oh, yeah, she's like a sister to me. I've known Bethany before the shark attack. I'm really close with her family. She's got a nonprofit that I've been a part of for many years. I love her to death. She's definitely a role model for me. She gives me a lot of really good surfboards when I'm running low on surfboards. I can't say enough good things about Bethany, and we hang out all the time. We surf together. People look at us like, well, if these guys and this girl are out here, and they've you know, our odds are pretty good right now. You can definitely see that people are thinking that.
Thinking that, wow, anyway, I won't go. But anyway, lastly, Mike, you were here on behalf of the Kauai Lifeguard Association. You know, now that there is awareness and now that people know about what lifeguards do, I mean, like, how cool, not cool, but how important is it that these men and women, you know, literally wind, rain, sleet, storm, and all of that is protecting the beaches because preventive measures is what it's all about.
Yep, I said this a couple times tonight, but I strongly believe that our water safety officers are the best in the world. We've got the best surfers in the world. We sure as heck got the best lifeguards as well. And these guys aren't, as soon as duty gets done, that they're going home. They live, eat, breathe being a lifeguard. They wear lifeguard shorts just all day. It's a passion. They're doing it not for the money. They're not doing it because it's this or that. They're doing it because they love it. They love the ocean. They want to give back, and they want to keep our locals and our visitors safe.
And the beauty of it is being a resident of the island of Kauai Junior Lifeguard Program. I mean, people will sincerely be the secondary lifeguards just for that warning prevention, because you say, for example, Majors Bay, I mean, that's Rip City beyond nobody else's business, you know what I mean? And nowadays, you got to know how to swim. You can't rely on just the leash, and because once it's gone, a lot of people...
That's when you get in trouble, once your leash breaks and you don't know, you're not comfortable in rip currents. And pretty much every beach can have its day where it's looking nasty and there's rips, and it can change from hour to hour, even from minute to minute, and I've seen that many times.
Well, you're a very humble person, and you're a great, great brother for taking this opportunity to chat with all of us. I want to ask you, tell me about who you are spiritually. I mean...
Yeah, I definitely believe that everything happens for a reason. I definitely believe that I'm here on borrowed time. I believe in God, and He's got a plan for me, and hopefully I'm doing my best to live it out.
You're a good guy. Honor to meet you, man.
Thank you once again to our keynote speaker of the event, Michael COOTS. Mike COOTS, it was such an honor and a pleasure of meeting you. You do so well for the island of Kauai. Good guy. You know, I finally got to meet Mike COOTS. I always wanted to meet Mike COOTS. Great guy. Mike, I hope we can be friends there here on our Garden Island, Kauai. We're going to have to take a short break, but when we come back, we'll update with you of last year's Save Our Shearwaters program as we speak with the coordinator of our Save Our Shearwaters, of course, our very dear friend, Tracy Anderson.
Aloha Kauai, my name is Joy Kagawa. I'm a sales representative at King Auto Center. Please visit us here. We'd love to show you our new cars, like this new Passport that just came back into the Honda line of cars. Please come in for a no-pressure buying experience at King Auto Center. I'll show you this brand new Passport. Come and see Joy Kagawa, King Auto Center. Please ask for me and see what the King can do for you. Thank you, Kauai. See you soon.
Aloha, I'm Barbara Bennett, owner and publisher of the Island's monthly community magazine, For Kauai. Available at newsstands, mailed to you by request, or at the Honolulu and Lihue airports. I invite you to join our local residents and read our stories. All local, all community, all Kauai. Read For Kauai magazine on our website, forkauaionline.com, with more feature stories, videos, daily calendar, and local news that will excite and interest you. Visit us daily, weekly on the web, and monthly in print. Mahalo and aloha.
Healthier is quality care close to home. Healthier is state-of-the-art facilities and the largest and best team of doctors on Kauai. It's specialty care and caring in a special way. Healthier is Kauai's only comprehensive bone and joint center with expertise in joint replacement, hands, feet, ankles, and sports medicine. Wilcox Health, creating a healthier Hawaii.
Welcome back, Kauai. Let's head on over to our Kauai Humane Society. That, of course, is the site location of our Save Our Shearwater programs. Here are the Shearwaters. The official season is from September 15th to December 15th. So what we're going to do is recap the 2018 season. Why, of course, the authority of our Save Our Shearwaters, none other than our very dear friend, Tracy Anderson.
The season went fairly uneventfully. It was we had a really good team, and we got of the birds that we got live, of the New World Shearwaters we got live, there was a 91% release rate, so that was really good. We got most of them out the door in good condition. About less than half. We did what was called direct release. We look them over in the field. The technicians know how to examine them, make sure there's no injuries, their feathers are uncontaminated. They take a few measurements, put a band on, and then they release them. Just over half of them had to come back to the Humane Society in our little area here for further examination, make sure there's no injuries, no contamination, that sort of thing. Most of them only spend a few days in care. We had just over 20 birds that spent more than 7 days in care here before they were released again. That's...
When you say it's an uneventful season, we want to let the viewing audience know, and please correct me if I'm wrong, the season technically is from September 15th to December 15th.
Yes, that's correct. So the fledging season's when the young Newell Shearwaters, when they're ready to fledge from their mountain burrows, and they do it at night, and they do it with no parental care. So basically the parents have been coming back and forth from the ocean at night throughout the whole breeding season, feeding these chicks. And when the chicks are ready to go, they're all their feathers are all in, they're at a good weight. They fledge, and they do it by themselves. Like, the parents aren't there around at all, and they take off at night and they head out to sea. And that starts taking place in September, and it goes through into October, and then by the end of October, Newells are starting to finish their fledging, and then we have Hawaiian petrels that also fledge, which is another endangered species here. They start fledging here on Kauai. And also we have the wedge-tailed shearwaters that nest here on Kauai, which nest on the periphery of the island. They start fledging into November and then into December.
Now, when you say the parents go out at night, and everything is basically done at night, when you say the parents go out to get food or what have you, does mommy stick back and daddy goes out, or does daddy stick back and mommy goes out, or are both of them out at the same time?
Both of them are out at the same time. The chick, after the first week, during the incubation period, there's always a parent with it. So both the male and the female, both the dad and the mom, share parental incubation duties. So one goes out to sea, the other one incubates the egg. Once the egg has hatched, the one parent, it's called a guard phase, will stick around for about a week and stay with the chick to make sure that it's thermoregulating, keeping its temperature, and all that. And then after that, both parents are out at sea foraging for the chick. So the chick is left alone by itself in its burrow.
So if one or the other unsuccessfully comes back, heaven forbid, then it's the task of the other one to double duty in terms of, I would guess, supplying food, or making a decision whether would they tend to bail the chick and take care of themselves?
Well, unfortunately, they will continue to come back and forth. If one of the parents is lost, the other parent will continue to feed the chick. The problem is that it really is a two-parent duty to get enough food to feed that chick for a successful fledge. So if one of the parents is lost late in the season, it's possible that the chick can leave at a good condition. But if a parent is lost, usually the chick ends up in relatively poor condition, and the likelihood of survival is very small.
And the parents, or in this case, the mother, would only lay one egg?
Yes, they only lay one egg per season. So there's one egg per pair per season. And if that egg is lost at any point, or the chick lost, they do not re-nest in that season. They have to wait till the next year to lay another egg.
So are these birds like some other birds? Are they lifers? Like they meet, they mate, they pair for life? How's that go?
They tend to stay together. Yes, when they get that mate that they've raised chicks successfully with, they tend to stay with the same mate throughout their lives. If one of the parents is lost, one of the adults is lost, it may take a season or two for the remaining adult to find another mate to continue breeding. It's a long process. It's why their population can't grow very quickly, and it's a big deal if an adult is lost.
Now, I've always wondered, and I'm sure a lot of the viewing audience are probably thinking, now when you say that the parents will split, the baby at night that's fully fledged with the proper weight or the physical abilities will then jump off a cliff or a higher elevated area out to sea, then what? Where do they find who they need to find? Or
It's instinctual. For this species, so some bird species have a parental care period after they fledge, like the boobies do. Some of the other species here, they continue to come back and forth to where they nested, and the parents will continue to feed them while they learn to hunt. The shearwaters and petrels, it's purely instinct. When they leave the nest, they're on their own. They have to figure out where to find food, how to find food, all that kind of thing, and it's all up there.
And Tracy Anderson, remind me of this word that I always mispronounce, pelagic, or correct me, but those are the birds that live on the water all their life, and they can't fly from the ground. They need that water to paddle, and they need to glide.
Yeah. So the word is pelagic, which basically means at sea, and they spend the majority of their lives on the open ocean. They only come to land to breed. That's the only reason they need to come to land. You're right. They have their body morphology has their legs situated farther back on their body. So unlike something like a duck or a goose that can do a direct takeoff from the ground, they need a forward momentum to get airborne. So either jumping off a cliff or a high spot, they run across the water to get that lift, and a good oncoming breeze is helpful as well.
And let us know about their not paddles, or not their fins, or not their, well, I guess it's the feet or the web foot. They have some sort of a grip along with the beak that they can elevate themselves?
They do. They actually can curl their feet quite well, and they can use them to help climb. They got little nails on the end. It helps them when they're digging their burrows. Like they can cling on to, the bark of trees and rocks and things like that too. So they have little kind of, they're quite good at climbing, actually, using their bill and their legs to get up.
Now, when you say also Mother Nature, or instinctively, the weirdest thing about everything is when they are adults themselves, speaking of the babies, they almost come back to almost the exact same burrow or the location, and that quite humbly meaning this island of Kauai.
Yes, that's correct. They have high site fidelity, which means when they leave and they fledge from a nest location, they are drawn back to that location when they're adults. So they'll come back to that colony area once they're ready to breed, which is why there's some translocation work happening here on island, and basically the young are taken before they imprint on their site when their nest site, and they are being put into an area that is predator proof up at Nohoku, and they it's in the hopes to build another colony. So those birds will imprint on that site as their breeding colony, and they come back there when they're ready to breed.
So you have a database when you mentioned that some of these birds were not really injured per se, but they were just fallen because of light and disorientation. So when it's deemed that they're healthy enough to release, as you say, you then tag them, you say, and then how often do you have that database like, oh, this guy was here 3 years ago, 7 years ago? This guy or gal, I should say.
Nearly all in the whole time period of this program that have been banded. So each bird gets an individual band, a metal band that will be on it for life. It is inscribed with unique numbers to that bird. There is a database, there's a federal database that takes these numbers and keeps them in a of all the people that do banding, bird banding, but we also have our own database. And actually last year we did have a recapture from a previous fledging season. So we had a downed subadult that was unfortunately dead when it was found, but it was from the 2016 season. It was banded as a fledgling at that time.
So, we chatted, and I really love and enjoy. We learned so much from you, Tracy Anderson. But when they're out in the open ocean, in the Arctic or Pacific Northwest or wherever it's like cold, and we sometimes kind of compare it to a penguin, probably more so because it's black and white, kind of looks like a little mini tuxedo.
Yeah.
But remind us how long can these birds hold their breath, and how technically deep do they go to go get their food?
Well, the Newell's shearwater has been seen or documented to dive up to 150 feet. I'm not too sure, I can't remember the breath holding that, but it's like a minute or so at least to get down there, grab its prey and up again. So 150 feet, they're pretty deep divers for in the bird world, yeah.
And that's one of the reasons that you repeat again and again to the local public, all of whom want to help. Many of whom are visitors that learn from the hotel or learn from commercials that they hear that it's important to turn the bird over, don't give them water, turn the bird over, meaning not flip them, but to report it to you folks, bring it to the nearest fire station, because little things that we don't know, like we got suntan, I don't want to say lotion, but sunscreen that can penetrate within the body, just a small spot, and that would consequently be that area that the water or the hypothermia or what have you would be kicking in.
Yes, we really want to check them over and make certain that they're we call them waterproof. So those outer feathers, they're their main defense against, since they have no place to set down, they go on the water or they're flying out on the ocean. If their outer feathers are permeable to water, that is a big problem because the water will seep through into the down underneath, and a lot of us know what happens to down when it gets wet. It gets wet and soggy and cold. Those birds will then succumb to hypothermia. They'll stop feeding because they don't want to dive to get their food, so hypothermia and or starvation. And so we really do want to check them over, make certain that their feathers are in good condition, and otherwise, we have ways of testing that here. And we have pools that we put them in, make certain that they have that buoyancy, that waterproofness, and in the odd occasion, we don't have to do it to too many of them, but we may have to wash them. So if they get road oils on them or something like that, they're unable to remove that themselves. So we need to give them a wash, and we follow oil spill protocols for that kind of thing. So we'll give them a good wash, get their feathers clean again, and then they can put them all back into order and be waterproof.
Okay, let's just say I'm just going to give you a title like an ornithologist or a scientist or what have you, but do you believe in global warming or climate change?
Yes, I do. I believe that it is human-caused climate change, yes.
Because I would just like to let the viewing audience know we've been blessed to talk about this incredible subject about native birds here that's been here hundreds of thousands of years ago. But when we chatted with you several times, I remember, there's a tropical storm or a little mini hurricane that the winds are blowing different. It's coming from a weird direction. It's like the perfect storm. And other types of migratory birds that never really pass through the Hawaiian Islands get blown off chart. And then the next thing you know, they're one of the birds that are discovered on Kauai. Is that an accurate way to say how these climate's changing and pushing things?
Yeah, and it can change where things migrate or how they migrate, different wind patterns, that sort of thing. Fallout, that the odd bird year to year that happens on Kauai that is not supposed to be here from other places, that has been happening for quite a while, because you will get these freak storms when they're migrating and things. But what it appears to be is that the storms are increasing intensity and in frequency, and it just may happen more and more.
Well, I guess, when we really think about it, that's probably things that happened thousands and thousands of years ago, and this is maybe how a lot of the native birds just happened to come to the Hawaiian Islands, and then consequently, because they might have been blown off chart, this is the only place that they were home. So when they would come back, then obviously they'd beeline it and come to the Garden Island of Kauai.
Some of the species actually, the shearwaters and petrels, they actually search out island archipelagos and things like that, like Hawaii, because of how they nest as well. So what happens is they nest in holes in the ground. It makes them very vulnerable to mammalian predators. And on these far-flung islands, there used to be no mammals, mammalian predators. So they populated these islands and did very well until we started introducing those species and those predators here. So that's that's another way that they moved around. But we are losing some of the outer islands to sea level rise, more frequent storms. So species like other burrow nesting species like bone-in petrels, we don't have them here on Kauai, but their burrows are getting flooded more frequently. So they lose their chicks and their eggs and things like that. So yeah, it's a big problem.
So for those people, which are probably very few, or for the visitors, how blessed are we that we don't have mongoose on Kauai?
Very, very blessed. They are an amazing little animal in their own right, in their native habitat, but they are incredible predators, and they will take prey many times their size sometimes, and the fact that we don't have them here is very good. Yeah.
They're sadly like the modern day weasel or Tasmanian devil. They might not necessarily eat something, but they'll just wipe everything out.
Well, they do, and because they're quick, they have a high metabolism. They have to eat quite frequently as well. So, and they're really good little predators, and so we're really good. It's really good that we don't have them here.
Well, Tracy Anderson, and if you just joined us, we are here with Tracy Anderson. What is your official title?
I'm the program coordinator for the Save Our Shearwaters program.
So, there's not a lot of people that know what you know. Humbly speaking.
There's other people that do a lot more research on the and other programs that do research on the birds up in the mountains, on their breeding sites, on the numbers, the population. I specialize in the birds once they're the husbandry side of things. So the handling, the getting them out in good condition, that sort of thing, yeah.
Right, and basically I was meaning, say for example, if there's none on Oahu, maybe there's a few on the Big Island, smaller colonies. If it was prevalent all over, or the mainland, or every place else, people would probably want to try to scoop you up for all the information to care for that. As always, Tracy Anderson, thank you for joining us on Walaau. But leave the viewing audience one key fact that most of us don't know that you want to share with the people in regards to the Newell Shearwaters here on our Garden Island of Kauai.
I'm trying to remember what ones I haven't given you before. I think we've talked about the diving before, the fact that they don't ever drink fresh water. They don't ever need to drink fresh water. They have glands in their heads there that filter their blood, and the excess salt in their blood is excreted that way. So they don't ever have to drink fresh water.
Thank you, Tracy. Thank you to our Save Our Shearwaters programs, to all the volunteers, and of course, our Kauai Humane Society. We're going to have to take a short break, but don't go away. Walaau, we'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Sherry Kawachi. I am a sales representative at King Auto Center, where we have the best new and used cars on Kauai. Standing right next to this beautiful brand new Honda Pilot. Come see this and more at King Auto Center. Be sure to ask for me, Sherry Kawachi. Thank you.
Captain Andy's Sailing. Nobody has more fun. Captain Andy's, the ultimate sailing adventure.
Aloha, my name is Joyce Fidina, and I'm the chair of the Events and Activities Committee for the KAUAI Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to 2019. We have a full year ready for you. We have our tasks on that committee is to fill our chamber calendar. We are committed to presenting 10 business after hours, 4 quarterly dinners, several lunches here and there, and seminars. We are fortunate that this year our calendar is almost full with 2 more slots at the end of the year. We welcome you to join us at our business after hours or our quarterly dinners. And once again, my name is Joyce Fidina from the Events and Activities Committee with the KAUAI Chamber of Commerce. Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Walaau. As always, we would like to sincerely thank each and every one of you for watching Walaau and making us a part of your weekend. We got festivities here in our garden island of Kauai. Don't forget now, if you can kokua, help to kokua the sponsors. Obviously, it is our sponsors that make Walaau possible week in and week out. You all know that we're in Spectrum Cable Channel 128. Of course, that's how you're checking us out. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, 7 a.m., 12 noon, 4 p.m., 7 p.m., 12 midnight. Spectrum Cable Channel 128. And for you YouTube buffs out there, guess what? Log on to Walaau Kauai. Check this out. Check out the website. You guys can figure it out. I'm not that technological, but you can figure it out. But check out the graphics that Bruce is putting in right now. Tell all your friends you can check out Walaau on YouTube. It is time for us to heli on. As always, let's all continue to take care of our families, our friends, the neighbors, the Malahini, and the Aina. And we'll check you out next week. Only it's raining Kauai on Walaau. On Walaau.